problem that we wanted to address was we have these feelings and insights and understandings about the way we behave because we have Parkinson's in everyday situations. And how can we show people what those are and give them a kind of a feeling for what it's like to be in a Parkinson's mindset? What we decided was we would take our photographs and we would start by pairing a bunch of them. He would contribute one and I would contribute one, and we would talk about how they could go together and manifest themselves as a visual statement of some kind. And then we decided that we would write some kind of short statement that describes some emotion or feeling or something important that we wanted to say about the photograph in the context of the pairing of the two. There's a lot of feeling invested in the pictures. And having that kind of close conversation with somebody is, it's a great thing, and it's nice to have that echoed back at you. Everyone that we've shown it to has thought that it gave them a broader understanding of what it might be like to have Parkinson's. We hope it takes you inside the feelings that people have with Parkinson's. So.
Do you remember to set the clocks ahead, to wash your face in the shower, what it's like to be pain-free, to be a pain, make people laugh, to be kissed, to kiss, to be wanted, to want, to be funny, to surprise yourself? The older I get, the more I realize that it's not, that you don't have to keep giving up everything. You stay young if you keep doing the things that you care about. This is more about, you could say youth, but also my goals in life, what's important to me, and having to give some of that up because of something I didn't plan on getting. The Bruce Freeman rail trail, biking so long in the zone. You had more energy, not less. Tucson, feeling at home in the brown, barren desert. Rattlesnakes and the dusty smell of rain. Sudden rivers filling huge arroyos. Hiking and hummingbirds. Playing music for a Scottish ball in Benson. Sleeping on the cool wooden floor of a dance studio until the first class arrived. I have to adjust, and I do, and then there's another change, and then there's another change. It gets hard, so I feel like writing it down helps me process that little bit, and then I can go on and enjoy something new that I didn't know I was going to get to do. You are worth more than solitaire, than being productive, than playing small to your disease. The hawk nest, the garden, the cardinals, the earth are still here. They wait patiently for you to remember, without shame, who you are.
Since I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's, if someone tells me that I can't do something, particularly with regard to Parkinson's, my answer is, well, just watch me. Defiance, after Rumi. Run from inertia. Forget sensible shoes. Live on the edge. Build castles in the air. Be rambunctious. I have heard dreary prognoses long enough. I'm quite invested in my warrior self. And it's been really hard for me to rethink myself as perhaps more fragile. From now on, I'll be unbroken, bold, disorderly, exuberant.
No one will come but you. You will come. You will touch me and know it's me. I may not know it's you, but I'll know you know me. I'll know you know me. Knowing that one of the risks of Parkinson's is dementia. Not that I feel any impending risk, but life is life. And realizing that if I had someone who loved me, it would make all the difference. And if he had someone who loved him, it would make all the difference, I hoped, to him. Or if it's you that doesn't know the morning from the eve, then I'll be the one who knows. I'll cover your shoulders with a fleece and bring the water to you. I'm beginning to feel like the future is limited. And I'm not ready to feel accepting of that. Hold your flailing hand. I will notice what you need and that you need. You will be known. You will be known.
My self-portrait was nourished by a family of trees, flourished through a series of increasingly challenging crossword puzzles, whose answers were often the names of birds, requiring me to distinguish between the kettling of hawks and the tea kettling of Carolina wrens. It just suggested to assemble the things that are meaningful to me. I mean, starting with the family of trees, which is a reference to the suburb I grew up in Connecticut. Revealing myself in Barley Soup, Mad Magazine, Songs of the Red Army Chorus, and the same train I boarded one morning in late October, passing the time, drawing cartoon characters with tiny eyes and big noses. I found sustenance from the parts and pieces that they added up to, and writing word portraits that keep me company until dinner is served. Brisket, whipped potatoes, and for dessert, kindly caboose me 2 scoops of coffee ice cream on Betty's apple pie.
A friend of mine that I've known for years noticed in my email that my email address was Johnny Ray Willis. And he said, I never noticed that your middle name was Ray. He said, that's a really cool name. Ray was my father's brother. And Ray died when he was 31, suddenly. So I was like 6 or 7 years old. I barely remember. I woke up in the middle of the night with this first verse of a poem that just appeared to me. You're always there in the middle of me, hidden to most, but a few still see. There you stand, broad-shouldered best man, next to your brother, his bride at his hand. I've never written a poem in my life. This has never happened to me. I've never had a poem come to me in the middle of the night from out of the ether. What were you like? What did you see? Were you anything like me? Is that you in a curved looking glass? I'd like you to meet my wife and my young girl. You never had a chance to find your way, too young to know whether to go or stay. I mean, very, very few people remember who Ray was, my family. There's a couple of older uncles who are almost, very, very old. But they remember him, and I barely remember him. So he's almost disappeared, basically. I wanted him to be, present a little bit to me and to maybe for a few other people who don't know him. But they say, yeah, that was Ray. Oh, interesting.
They is among us, they is here to stay. Even Merriam-Webster likes the singular they.
Well, I have a kid who is non-binary, and I have trouble with the pronoun of preference, which in this case is they.
I am I and we are we. You're you, but you didn't used to be. Until the 19th century, you were known as thou or thee. It's an etymological mystery, but that's how it was in history. And some still refuse to see that grammar ain't what it used to be.
They don't have a problem with the non-binariness of, but I hate that they thing because it's not grammatical. So, okay, if that's your problem, then we'll work on that.
So what if it don't sound grammarly? They is part of my family, and love trumps grammar any day. That's why I use the singular they.
Drifted all day, lay with the breeze, no destination, sailed as I please. Coming above, close to the wind, no hesitation, courage, it won't come easy, courage, it won't come free.
Sometimes with Parkinson's, it takes courage just to get out of bed in the morning. Man, it's true. But it takes courage to do so many things in life, especially when you're aging.
Play me a tune, tell me a tale, light up my beacon, fill up my sail, play in the line, no need to race, you're in my heart when I can see your face.
Going to the hospital when my husband was going to be having heart surgery. You know, before I had Parkinson's, I always thought I'd be the helper, but suddenly he's having heart surgery and he needs me to be the helper. And I'm trying to just navigate the day myself and hoping I can do for him or arrange for him what he needs effectively. And we just charged ahead and did it.
Courage, it won't come easy. Courage, it won't come free. Courage to find your harbor, head for the open sea. Courage.
Part of me there is masked. It turned out it was in Paris where that was done. And then part of me is protected with a respirator. And that relates to the 9/11 experience that I had. Then one part vulnerable and the other part I feel open. And it takes you through, these are the me's that I was seeing in terms of what that piece of art was. And again, even though it's a collage and has other elements in it, like the cows and the flowers and so forth, and the cherry blossom tree, it is a self-portrait.
What I want to talk about is a balloon flight, how it is an allegory for the way things should be and the way things are. Dear Parkinson's, got a minute? Let me tell you about me, just so you know who you're tangling with. Accidentally, you gave me purpose. Support group leader, clinical trials, liaison ambassador. I would run marathons back to back to back. Ran 6 Bostons. I envisioned myself as being somebody who was a runner. And that was how I was going to do my retirement. I was going to coach people and run marathons in all 50 states. And then along came Parkinson's, and I have trouble walking. On the field, there were balloons. Each was filled with a gas to help it rise. The first one was filled with Regna. It shot up quickly and burst because of its high pressure. The second was filled with Rapacid, but its weight held it down and it couldn't get off the ground. I can see new things that were opened up for me. I wasn't a poetry person. I dabbled with guitar over the years, but I surely was not a painting person, and I never pictured myself being in a chorus. But the third one was filled with Evol mixed with EPO, and it hung above the crowd, showing its beauty to everyone below it. On the ground, people cheered, but then it started to come back down. And when it landed, people ran over to see what went wrong. To their surprise, the pilot said nothing was wrong, but the balloon had to release its gases over and return to Earth. And why, the crowd asked. And the pilot explained that the gas, evol, was love. And the gas, epo, was hope. And hope and love must always be shared.
I'm fairly newly diagnosed. So which was in May. And I feel like right now I'm at a point where I don't have that much personal experience with a lot of the physical things that can and will happen. And I was an English literature major. I've been doing art for 40 years. Like, words are really important to me. The reason I like the word onward is it's a positive thing, like I'm moving onward. But I felt that it also implies that there's a choice, that you can kind of go onward or you can not. Right now, kind of the task is to try to do everything I can so that it slows progress.
Suddenly, it has a name, Parkinson's, just Parkinson's. A rumble was heard, a stampeding echo, and a paralyzing shock ran down my skin. No, it's not something I wish, not to my worst enemy. Falling, unbelieving despair, a perfect storm. Biology, a game of chance. Aching slowly in the brain. It calmly whispers its arrival, like those messenger breezes of bad omens. That flower that emerges from the mud, from difficult circumstances, and from this kind of adversity, a new opens of wisdom and hope and human understanding of our nature as humans. Maybe these afflictions open unexpected doors, a blue lotus in a somber river, wisdom offer like salt, introspection gain. Well, wilder is my forest, a dense foliage of sorrow and courage. This is not the end of my story. Resilience anew in a murky river and the breath of my blue lotus.